What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Merry Christmas Eve out there to everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Start to the day, end of the day, wherever you guys are in the world. So Merry Christmas Eve. In this video here, we got a little bit of Plarium news about the upcoming Christmas events here. So we were waiting for this a little bit because there are a couple other events happening right now. You can kind of see there is a extra legendary event happening for these sacred shards. Now, I did make a video yesterday about basically being very careful about pulling these sacred shards because obviously you need to track your mercy to get additional benefits to knowing if you got boosted rates on your sacred pulls. Right now we just have regular rates, but if you're in mercy you get an additional 2% for every shard that you're pulling. It's not much, but at least you know you're getting some boosted rates, a little bit more value. Outside of that, I said hold on to your sacred shards, just not worth the gamble. The risk is very high, especially for sacred shards. The mercy is very, very high. And of course, we have this Yuki massive fusion that's happening right now. And we do have a champion chase happening on the weekend. So perhaps saving some of those sacred shards could help you guys there if you guys are on the edge of completing the fusion. We also have a Christmas gift from Plarium here. Make sure you guys collect this 3-day duration on this. I mean, we got the Sacred Shard, which is good. Kind of what we expected here, to be honest. Usually on Christmas time, they give us a Sacred Shard, which is nice. I think one year they might have given us both, I want to say. Both Sacred and a Primal Shard, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure. 1,000 Starstone here, I think would help a couple people, but 1,000 Starstone is not going to last very long. That's like moving a mythical relic like 3 times or something, or twice. I don't know, 3-star basalts. You could have given us 4-star basalts, whatever, right? But yeah, these are pretty good. So we're claiming up right now. That definitely helps out a little bit. Well, actually, we got something else here as well. Regular pack, sure, we'll pick that up as well. And yeah, make sure you guys grab that. We got 3-day duration on all that stuff. So anyways, let's jump into this news here about this upcoming event. I'm going to put it on screen here. So, hey, y'all, or whatever, we're planning to launch a few events simultaneously this Friday, December 26th. So, the day after Christmas, we're planning to launch 2x event for legendary and epics from Void Shards. So, there's going to be a boost on Void Shards. I did predict this. I said Void Shards was most likely going to be the next 2x just because we haven't had a Void Shard 2x in a long time relative to Ancient Shards and Sacred Shards. So we do get the Void 2x boost here. This has happened in the past where they did boost Void Shards on Christmas. Also, the same day, we're planning to launch a 10x boost for Lady Noel from Void Shards. This will only last for 24 hours. So Lady Noel recently got buffed indirectly because of the buff to Sir Nicholas. Lady Noel was the fusion from last year. And she's a great champion, right? She has one of the best revives in the entire game. So she brings a team revive with a AoE freeze on a 3-turn cooldown. Now, usually revives gives you back half health, half turn meter on a 4-turn cooldown with some kind of ability, maybe like a buff or something. That's pretty much like the standard team revive. So hers is on a 3-turn cooldown, which is amazing. And then she has this AoE freeze, which basically almost guarantees, if she lands it, almost guarantees that your revived teammates will get a turn before your enemy. So that's really, really powerful having this level of CC. Now, if Sir Nicholas is on the team, like I said, Sir Nicholas did get buffed recently, so that indirectly or directly buffs Lady Noel indirectly. But Sir Nicholas no longer becomes a liability for this team because previously Sir Nicholas just wasn't very good and Lady Noel is a lot better. Now Sir Nicholas is really good and together they are really, really good. So she has the A2 here. If she uses it on Sir Nicholas, she instantly activates his Goodwill skill. The Goodwill skill is his unkillable skill. And he got a really nice buff on his unkillable skill as well, just giving more buffs to everybody. And his A1 is just going to be a single target block buff. Nothing too crazy or anything like that. She does bring speed, big speed here in arena battles, and she has very nice base speed at 105. Her passive, not particularly insane or anything, gives you a little bit of sheet recovery and slows down enemies that are already under freeze by 10%, which is okay, but nothing too crazy. She's a good champ. She's one of the best AoE revives in the game, but honestly, she's not like a top tier Void Lego by herself, mainly because her A1 and A2 are not particularly insane. But with Sir Nick, she becomes really, really strong and a big threat together. So she's going to be up for grabs as a 10x. And then on Saturday, so One event is for 24 hours, so that's going to be on Friday. So that's for Lady Noel. And then on Saturday, there's going to be a boosted 10x rate on Void Shards for Tormund the Cold. So we got a boosted 10x on Lady Noel, and then we got a boosted 10x on Tormund the Cold. So Tormund the Cold also gets an indirect buff here by the introduction of Hilvi. Hilvi is basically Tormund's like better half or other half, and she makes Tormund pretty much go crazy in terms of just spamming his abilities. She has abilities that can spam his A1. She has abilities that can spam his A3, and she can place HP burns, which makes Tormund spam stuff. So she's really good champion by herself, Hilvi, and there's an ongoing deck of fate for that and all that stuff. There's a day and a half left in her deck of fate. But together, him and Hilvi and Tormund, they're really, really strong together as a CC unit, potentially as a damage unit as well. She's a great reviver, and he is a great CC champion. So it's kind of cool that they offer these, 10x's for these champions. They're not particularly super sexy by themselves, but together with their partner bonuses, and since the partner kind of buffs or partner introductions just recently came into the game, I think this is a decent time to kind of shell them out a little bit and see if people can pick them up. Keep in mind it's only a 10x. A 10x boost for Void Shards doesn't really give you that much of a boost. Like you're probably looking at like 10 or 11% chance of pulling this desired 10x champion if you pull a Void Legendary. Now keep in mind that the Void Shards will be boosted 2x, so you're getting a 1% chance of pulling a Lego. But if you wanted Lady Noel, for example, on her 24 hours of 10x boost, you're probably only looking at about a 11% chance of pulling her from a Lego if you pull a Lego. So, keep your expectations in check. You're not going to pull this champion very often. You're not going to pull the desired 10x champion very often. Last note here is please note that the second 10x event will start one day later than the first. Okay, so it's 10x, then 10x, while the first one will end one day earlier than the second one. Very confusing text here. Also, the duration of the second 10x will be one day shorter than the duration of 2x itself. So we got 2x spanning multiple days. We got one day of 10x and then the next day of 10x. Makes sense. Personally speaking, I have Noel, I have Tormund, so these are not huge draws for me. The 2x Void Shards will be tied into the champion chase that's happening for the Yuki Massive Fusion, which is definitely a good thing. It's a good thing for players because Void Shards on a 2x boost for a champion chase, they're worth decent amount of points, right? Because each one of the rares that pop up, they're actually 50 points. Another thing is that you should consider that you might pull the fusion rare if you're pulling Void Shards. So I would suggest to not go crazy on the other events yet until you pull your Void Shards, so that if you pull the Void rare, then maybe you can skip an event here or there, right? Because there is a couple events happening at the same time as the champion chase. You got the Spider Tournament, you got the Gear Hunters, you got the Classic Arena, that's nothing, and then you got the completion of the Champion Training Tournament. Now, the Champion Training Tournament, it's ongoing right now. There is 2 rares in it, so keep that in mind, guys. And then we have a gear enhancement event as well. So if you guys pull a Void rare for the fusion, then you guys can skip any one of these events that are happening. So yeah, make sure you pull your shards first and all that, so that you know exactly what you're working with. Personally speaking, I have a lot of stuff that I'm ready to pull for the champion chase. Like I have 6 remnant pulls here. We could definitely pull Hilvi if we wanted to, just get her get her built up and going. I have 169 Void Shards in this account. I mean, I can pull some Void Shards if I wanted to. So I'm not going to go crazy on a 2x event for 10x champions that I don't really need and I already have. So I'm probably just going to do the bare minimum, unless the rewards are really nice. I don't think the rewards are going to be crazy. It shows a big rock here, which is pretty standard stuff, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not opposed to gambling a little bit on the Void Shards, and it's Christmas, so we can spend a little bit of shards there for Christmas. But honestly, there's no rush. There's no rush in spending these resources, guys. There's just, there's New Year's coming up. There's going to be most likely a new collab coming in the new year, probably with a public IP, because we still have the Alien versus Predator collab happening right now. So it would be kind of weird if they had another famous IP collab that's happening at the same time. So it's probably going to be a public collab because they did mention that the event dungeon was coming back for January. So they mentioned the event dungeon was coming back for January. So that means that most likely there's probably going to be some kind of campaign. So similar to like Tholen, like Chaos Awakes, and similar to Alice, it might just be like a public domain IP that they can use, and then we'll have another event dungeon. So that's going to be happening in January. So there's no real rush to really spend resources, guys. So if you guys can do the champion chase with mystery shards and just take it easy with the resources, if you guys don't feel like pulling void shards, for example, not too interested in the events, just save them, right? Because you don't need to pull for every 2x event, because the 2x events just happen all the time, and there's always going to be events where you can spend resources on. So anyways, guys, just a little quick note there. Like I said, we have a 2x for void shards coming this weekend, aligned with the champion chase for the fusion. There's going to be a 10x on Tormund and Noel on separate days, so make sure you guys are aware of which boost is happening if you guys are interested in those champions. Good champions indirectly buffed by the introduction of Hilvi and the buffs to Sir Nick. I mean, that's great. I mean, that's great. That's great. They're giving people an opportunity to get these champions. That's fine. I think people were talking about how they should put those champions in like a hero's path, like similar to how Shayak and Hackmaster, and sorry, Crowcat and Shayak were in the same path, and then you can kind of like choose which one you wanted and all that, the Soul or Shayak. That was really interesting. I thought they maybe should have did that for maybe some of these old champions, like Tormund, for example. Like Tormund is offered in so many different ways already: champion chase, Titan event, fusion. Like, he's such an old champion, might as well put him in a hero's path too. Why not, right? Anyways, going off on a tangent here. That's gonna be it for the video. So hopefully you guys have a great Christmas Eve. Like I said, hopefully you guys have some dinner plans, some nice plans for Christmas and all that, and you guys are surrounded by your loved ones. Make sure you guys take some time to relax, take a break from raid if needed, of course, and yeah, have a safe and joyful holiday. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for watching until the end. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.